Okay, real quick. Imagine you hate Netflix so much that you run for Congress, not to regulate it, not to tax it, not to write a strongly worded letter to the CEO. You run for Congress and win, specifically to destroy Netflix. That's it. That's your whole platform. In America, that person would get a podcast and maybe a book deal. In Japan, that person got elected to the national parliament. His name is Takashi Tachibana. And the TV channel he wanted to destroy is called NHK. This is his story. And I promise you, it gets so much weirder from here. To understand Tachibana, you first need to understand NHK. NHK is Japan's national public broadcaster. Think PBS, think BBC News, documentaries, educational content. Totally normal public broadcasting, except for one thing. In Japan, if you own a television, any television, that is capable of receiving NHK signal, you are legally expected to pay a monthly fee every month, whether you watch NHK or not, whether you like NHK or not, whether your TV is basically just a very expensive mirror that you occasionally use to watch YouTube. NHK wants their money, and to collect it, NHK employees knock on your door, in person. Excuse me, do you own a television? Well, why? Because if you do, you owe us money. I only watch anime. Doesn't matter. Pay up. Now in America, we just complain about this on Twitter and do absolutely nothing. In Japan, most people do the same, but one man, one very specific, very angry man, decided to make this his entire personality. Here's where it gets interesting. Before Tachibana became NHK's biggest nightmare, he actually worked there. He wasn't some random guy yelling from the outside. He was on the inside, and during his time at NHK, he claims he discovered internal accounting problems. So he did what any reasonable person would do. He exposed them. NHK's response? You're fired. Now normally that's where the story ends. Guy gets fired, guy goes home, guy stares at the ceiling wondering where it all went wrong. But Tachibana, he chose chaos. And he had the perfect weapon, the internet. In the early 2000s, Tachibana started posting videos online, explaining why NHK's fee system was unfair, why the whole thing was, in his words, completely ridiculous. And his timing was perfect because the internet was doing something extraordinary everywhere, turning regular angry people into political forces. His videos were blunt, direct, aggressive, very different from traditional Japanese political communication, which is usually so formal and polite, it makes C-SPAN look like a rap battle. Tachibana's style was more like, let me explain why this entire system is ridiculous. And online, that energy gets clicks, that energy gets followers, that energy gets a political party. In 2013, Tachibana created a political party, and he gave it one of the most specific names in the history of democracy, the Party to Protect the People from NHK. Most political parties talk about the economy, foreign policy, healthcare, national security. This one said, stop paying that TV fee. That was it. That was the entire platform. And shockingly, people listened. Because if there's one thing that unites a nation, it's a bill nobody wants to pay. The NHK party started growing, slowly at first, then faster. And in 2019, something nobody expected happened. The NHK party ran candidates in Japan's national election for the House of Councillors, Japan's upper house of parliament, the highest level of government, and somehow they won a seat. Tachibana, the fired NHK employee who turned his anger into a YouTube channel, was now a member of Japan's national parliament. Somewhere inside NHK headquarters, someone spilled their coffee, stared at the screen, and quietly updated their emergency response plan. Now here's the part of the story most people don't know. Politics, especially confrontational politics, creates enemies, and Tachibana had a lot of them. During one incident related to his political activities, a man came at him with a knife. Tachibana survived. The attacker was detained, but let that sink in for a second. This man started a political movement about a TV fee, a television fee, and someone came at him with a knife. That is how heated Japanese politics got around this one guy, over a cable bill. Then in November 2025, things got even stranger. Tachibana was arrested. The case involves statements he made during a political speech and on social media about a former regional politician who had already passed away. Tachibana claimed this man had been under police investigation, was about to be arrested. Authorities said those claims had no verified basis, and in Japan, damaging someone's reputation with false statements, even after they're gone, can be prosecuted as defamation. His supporters said it was political persecution. His critics said, maybe don't say things that aren't true about dead people. The case sparked a massive national debate about free speech, defamation law, and exactly where the line is, a debate that's still ongoing. And here's the part that made the arrest even more serious. This wasn't Tachibana's first legal issue. Earlier, courts had convicted him in a separate case involving the acquisition and publication of personal information from NHK contract holders. That resulted in a prison sentence with probation, which meant any new conviction during the probation period could send him straight to prison, no second chances, no appeals to the YouTube audience, just prison. The stakes went from political drama to something much more real, much more quickly, and on top of all of that, he went bankrupt. Because it turns out, fighting a national television network, getting elected to parliament, surviving a knife attack, getting arrested, and maintaining a political organization is really, really expensive. His finances collapsed, and he entered bankruptcy proceedings. So let's do a quick recap of this man's career arc. Fired NHK employee to angry YouTube videos, to founded a political party to won a seat in national parliament, to survived a knife attack to got arrested to went bankrupt. This man's Wikipedia page reads like 3 different TV dramas stitched together, which is deeply ironic because he hates television. Today, opinions about Tachibana are completely divided. Some people see him as a reckless provocateur, a man who weaponized public frustration for personal fame, who said whatever got attention regardless of whether it was true. Others believe he exposed something real about the power of media institutions, about the gap between politicians and regular people, about what happens when someone decides to actually fight back instead of just complaining online. And maybe both things are true at the same time. But here's what nobody can deny. He proves something important about modern politics, that a movement doesn't have to start in a boardroom or a party headquarters or a wealthy donor's living room. It can start with a camera, a YouTube channel, and one very specific, very loud complaint about a television fee. That's it. That's all it took. And whether you see Tachibana as a hero, a villain, or just the most chaotic person in modern Japanese politics, his story answers a question a lot of people are asking right now. Can one angry person actually change anything? In Japan, the answer was yes. He just also got arrested and went bankrupt, and someone tried to stab him, so, read the fine print. If this story made you laugh and then immediately feel something uncomfortable, good. That means it worked. Like and subscribe. And maybe, just maybe, go check if your TV is picking up any signals you haven't paid for. NHK is watching.